I'd like to remind you guys all, per the local plan, the CAC must look at anything that relates to the budget and financial reports as it's written in the local plan. I have mentioned this before, and it's not being done. We did not see any of this that is being represented right now. So I'm asking that if there's going to be votes on this and it's not going to be set aside, that there is a roll call of individuals voting on each D item. Thank you.
These items are part of the overall budgeting process. They're just transfers that are being handled in accordance with our fiscal allocation plan. So the CAC reviewed the budget, the projected budget for last year, during last year's meeting, and they would review it again this year as we bring forth our budget. But these are just transfers that occur in accordance with our local fiscal allocation.
So does our local plan require that any fiscal action taken by this group, once the budget's been approved, that the CAC has reviewed, that all fiscal transactions beyond that point have to be reviewed by the CAC? Okay, so Kathleen, D1.
Good morning. I'm Kathleen Floyd, the fiscal analyst here at the West End SELPA, and I'm just basically presenting the West End fiscal transfer and update notification. Just as a little background for you, the very first sentence there, as approved by the Superintendents Council on November the 14th, the following items are presented just as a notification. These items have all been previously reviewed with the Finance Advisory Committee, and all of the backup documentation was provided there. Superintendents had indicated that they just wanted this as a notification item. So the items that are being transferred and or have been updated this month are the 11-12 mid-year 50% the county transportation excess cost transfer. That's in the amount of $1,598,968. The 11-12 mid-year CSER, which is our California School for the Deaf at Riverside transportation projection that we get from county schools, and then the projection has increased to $130,257. The next item is our 11-12 mid-year 50% CSER transportation transfer, and that is the district portion to transfer those students to CSER. The item D is our 11-12 second interim administrative budget update. Again, those are the updates for our regional service program, for our fee-for-service program, as well as our XPOT, and those have all been reviewed with the Finance Committee. And last but not least is item E, which is the update of the 11-12 projected P2 AB602 funding model, which the amount is $81,629,303. And that was updated using the district's provided projected P2 ADA, so we can go ahead and put that funding model. So those should be transferred and are updated here in March. Any questions? Thank you.
Questions? Thank you. G2 is the SELPA Special Education Enrollment. Jen.
On an annual basis, we take a look at our special education enrollment in terms of percentage of students in special education, types of disabilities served, as well as where those students are served. And so your first page kind of gives you the big picture in terms of the percentage of students we have in special education. I do want to mention that these calculations do involve students from 0 to age 22. So it includes our early start kids as well as our students who stay on past their 18th birthday. So, you may have heard that 10% was kind of the number we look at. That is when you're looking at a school-age population. So I think overall, our numbers look okay. When I compare them to previous years, they're still in the ballpark. And however, we as a WESELPA are continuing to see increases in our special ed pupil count while district enrollment is declining. So we are growing faster in terms of numbers of students with special needs versus our overall enrollment. So it's probably not the trend we'd like to see. On the second page, we look at the data in terms of disabilities, and probably not a surprise to anyone, we continue to see an increase in the number of students with autism. The other area that we see an increase in is other health impairment. And this is probably one of those eligibility areas that is as gray as it can get. And so there's not clear standards in terms of percentiles or cutoff points as to when a student's eligible under other health impairment. And so that would be one districts may want to take a look at in terms of their practices in assessment if this continues to grow in your district. When we look, it is also broken down by district, by disability, and because of the fact that we do have high school districts, unified district, and elementary districts, you could expect that there's going to be variances in the types of disabilities indicated in those areas. So, in Alta Loma, you see a large number of students with speech and language impairments. That's much more common in younger children. So, you wouldn't see as high a percentage in our unified or high school district because those students would either have been, those issues been resolved, or they probably would have moved into another category. And so it's just here for you to take a look at. You can compare yourself to districts of similar configuration. And then the last sheet is looking at our students that are served outside the district. One of the tenets of IDEA is to ensure that students are served in the least restrictive environment. And actually, one of the annual performance report measures that CDE evaluates us on, as well as they're evaluated by OSEP, are number of students in more restrictive placements. And so overall, the percentages have been stable SELPA-wide, although there certainly have been some real changes within districts. And some districts have significantly reduced the number of students in their served outside their district, whether it be in a regional provider program or in a non-public school. And then there are a couple of districts, however, that have increased in those numbers. So, if you're increasing, you may want to look at the reason why. If you've developed new programs within your district to serve the students, and that's why you're decreasing, you probably already recognize that and have seen that. And if anyone wants to discuss it further, it's not certain to call out any district because you don't know all of the factors that have been happening in that district. So there's no right or wrong number here, but it's just to help you kind of take a look at and compare things.
Thank you. Any questions?